A few days ago, I had an argument with a guy on TikTok about which game was better, Five Nights at Freddy's 3 or Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Me, as a guy who finished both games, I thought Security Breach was better. Now trust me, I don't hate Fnaf 3. I mean, I made an entire video you should totally check out by the way, about Springtrap. I love the lore of Fnaf 3, but I thought the gameplay was weak, and much more fun in Security Breach, and so making me think of it as a more superior game. This led to him writing multiple paragraphs in my comment section about how Fnaf 3 was underrated and Security Breach sucks. Having a discussion on TikTok sucks because of the limited characters, so I was struggling to keep track. I asked him to join me and move the discussion over to Discord, which was an offer he declined. But it got me thinking, is Fnaf 3 or Security Breach better? And that's what brings me here today. Now keep in mind, this discussion is probably very controversial. Not probably, it is. But I'd love to know your guys' take on this, cause it's fine if you don't agree with me. And so, it's time to begin. To find this question out, I'm gonna part the game in different sections: story, lore, gameplay, and quality. So let's get on with it. Security Breach's story is about a kid named Gregory. We start up the game playing as him, inside of Freddy's stomach hatch with no explanation, not even later on. Except maybe that I was hiding from the security guard, Vanessa. Again, no explanations to why, but whatever I guess. Our key objective is escaping the Pizzaplex. So what do? Well, not hide until 6 AM, that's for sure. You try multiple different exits, trying desperately not to get caught by other animatronics and some weird bunny called Vanny, who's totally not Vanessa. Because even if Freddy is nice enough not to hurt you, and even willing to help the entire night, you are not as lucky with the other animatronics. This goes on until you choose two different attractions, Gator Golf or Phaser Blast. After you choose Phaser Blast, which is what you would choose, cause why pick fucking golf over laser guns, you get access to a vent which leads to a secret room above Phaser Blast, where you find out that the bunny rabbit's name is Vanny.
It is very similar to Vanessa, and also Bunny.
Wait, you don't think? No f***ing way. It's pretty obvious at this point that Vanny and Vanessa are the same person. Or are they? Ask John or Matt Pat. Anyways, the game has 6 different endings. You could leave the Pizzaplex, or you could leave the Pizzaplex, or you could brutally murder Freddy and Vanny, or you could save Vanny, or Freddy can commit fucking arson, then homicide, then suicide, or you can go say hi to Springtrap, or Scrap Trap, or Glitch Trap, or Burn Trap, or whatever the And that's Security Breach's story. Fnaf 3's story is you're a security guard in an office in the new Fazbear Fright. You have 5 nights to be a security guard and survive the horrors that await you. Where have I heard about this before? You have to use cameras to see what might be chasing you and try to lure it away, but you have to reboot your devices to make sure they don't fail on you, and hopefully survive the next 5 nights that await you. This game has 2 endings. The bad ending, where you survive but the souls get trapped in the animatronics and don't get out, or ending 2, the good ending, where the horror attraction burns to the ground and the souls get set free. Which you won't know unless you become a theorizing PNG, and yeah, that's it. So, which story wins? I want to say neutral, since both are either meh or just reused content. But if I have to pick, I think Security Breach wins by a tiny margin. Just because it has an easy to understand story, and it's not just pieces of story ripped apart in different minigames, which I get is a big part of the game, finding clues to lore, but that's lore, not story. There's a reason I put those on 2 different sections. Fnaf 3's gameplay story is pretty weak, compared to security breaches. Not to mention how it's literally just the same thing as in FNAF 1 and FNAF 2. And so Security Breach wins and takes this not so proudly for the win. I don't even need to say anything in this. FNAF 3 smashes Security Breach when it comes to lore. All the small secret minigames, the clever backstory to Springtrap, all the hidden meanings, all of it, in these compact, creepy minigames, they're awesome. Well, except having to type a few numbers in a tiled wall, but no, FNAF Security Breach has nothing. They have the balloon minigame, which is the worst piece of shit I have ever fucking played. I hope this fucking minigame goes and fucks itself and dies. And what do you get from beating this useless piece of fucking code? Nothing. What fucking lore do you get from this fucking minigame with nothing fucking to it? Nothing. I'm done. FNAF 3 wins. But this is where FNAF 3 dies completely to me. The gameplay. FNAF 3's gameplay is really, really bad. You can defend it all you want, guy from TikTok, but there is no way you can think this is better game design.
All employees, that due to budget restrictions, the previously mentioned safe rooms are being sealed in most locations, including this one. Work crews will be here most of the day today, constructing a false wall over the old door face. Nothing is being taken out beforehand, so if you left anything inside, then it's your own fault. Management also requests...
You sit still in an office and check your camera feed. You're also trying to lure a singular animatronic with 4 phantoms that disables either your ventilation, your camera, or your audio. And later into the game, if you get jump scared once by a phantom, you're just screwed, unless you're really, really lucky. Which is another thing I dislike. Luck-based game design. FNAF 3 is so luck-based, and it's just not fun. You have to reboot every 5 seconds, and rebooting takes 5 seconds. So 90% of the game is just you rebooting the system, panning to the camera, play audio, go back and reboot, go back into the camera system, say what you want. But the most annoying parts of Security Breach are more fun than FNAF 3. Except for you little shit. Gameplay in Security Breach is not amazing, but with this as its competition, Security Breach drives FNAF 3 to the ground. You can call me a hypocrite since I like FNAF 1 and 2, even though it's basically the same thing. The difference is the first games have better mechanics, let's be honest, and more characters. It also gets really stressing and exciting because you're scared you're gonna get a jump scare, but you're also excited for the win. But in FNAF 3, the jump scare sucks, and there's no animatronics to be stressed out over except for Springtrap, which is just fucking luck-based. Also, the sitting in office still while waiting to get taken by the animatronics was a new concept at the time. But at the time FNAF 3 comes out, it becomes really stale really quickly, because it's so overused. And also, while FNAF 3 does something similar with its gameplay, it just feels like a cheap and lazy copy of the mechanics from the originals. And so yeah, Security Breach bashes FNAF 3 to the ground. Quality. Now in quality, what I want to talk about is atmosphere, polishment, sound design, graphics, etc. Security Breach's atmosphere is one I enjoy. It brought something new to the table, which I can respect, but as I've talked about before, not at all scary. FNAF 3 has a really creepy atmosphere, and watching Springtrap through the camera, he really looks unsettling a lot of the time. On polishment, I'm perhaps gonna get a lot of hate regarding the mountains of bugs Security Breach has, but honestly, none of these bugs have affected my gameplay. It's never been a game-changing bug, at least not for me. While in FNAF 3, countless of times, I've seen Springtrap 2 places at once, which really messes with the gameplay. And yes, I know, I know Scott has said himself that this is you hallucinating, Springtrap. And you know what? I'm not buying it. I really don't think I'm wrong in saying it's just a silly excuse to not be polished enough. That might just be me, but either way, if it was game design, I don't think it's good game design. And so I'm actually willing to let Security Breach win on that. On graphics, it's pretty much obvious who wins. It's Security Breach. People hate it, people love it, but if it's one thing everyone agrees on when it comes to Security Breach, it's that it has immaculate graphics. While I wouldn't call FNAF 3's graphics bad, and actually pretty decent, there's no question here. So who wins in quality? Well, it's Security Breach. Both of the games have huge flaws, but me personally, I would prefer a 3-hour decent gameplay experience against a game with good lore, but the worst gameplay I've ever gone through. Maybe you don't agree, but this is my thoughts. Tell me what you think in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Also, please give suggestions to video ideas. And I would also appreciate any support I can get, so click that like button and subscribe for more content. Goodbye.